If anyone is joining late, please help them out with the page numbers. Page number 84, tools to generate ideas and solution. So to generate ideas and solutions for the first time, the thing that you have to do first, the first step is to collect data. You should have information and upon which only you can do your further analysis, discussion, and then come up with certain ideas and solutions to the problem. Okay, so the tools which we'll discuss here, questionnaires, surveys, interviews, okay, these are the ways through which you can collect data. Okay, so survey is one such tool. It's a research method used for collecting data from a predefined group of respondents, okay, to gain information and to gain insights to various topics of interest. Predefined group of respondents. When you're conducting a survey, you have certain characteristics that all the respondents should have. Okay, for example, you are doing a survey on cancer patients. Your respondents should should be a patient who had recovered from cancer or are still suffering from cancer, and so on. So okay, so it's a predefined group of respondents. You have a definition of who your subjects are, who the universe is. Okay, second is questionnaire. Questionnaire or interviews are used to obtain information from a group of individuals about a process, product, or service. There are two types of surveys, questionnaires, and the questionnaires and interviews. Questionnaires are usually paper-based or electronic instruments that the respondents will complete it independently based on their own thought process, their opinion, their level of knowledge. They will respond to it individually, independently, and they will send it back to you. Okay, it could be either via paper, you distribute a paper of questionnaire and you collect it back, or it could be via nowadays questionnaires are via link. You just have to open a link of questionnaire, you just have to submit your answer, select the correct answers, whatever your opinions are, and then submit it. The researcher will get your response as well. Okay, so these are the two types of questionnaires in use right now. Interviews are conducted with the respondent either face-to-face or over phone. Again, all these three methods are used to collect data. Okay, and based on the data you have collected, you can further form any ideas, tools, or solution. Okay, the next main tool is brainstorming. So it is a technique used to quickly generate a lot of ideas about a problem or topic. It encourages creative thinking and it incites enthusiasm, because if you have been in a brainstorming session, a topic will be written on the whiteboard. A group of people must have gathered around. They discuss, okay, people open up, they discuss to each other's opinion. Okay, there is a mutual share of thoughts, there is a share of conversation. So it excites people. There is an enthusiasm in the crowd that has been gathered. Okay, brainstorming is a group creativity technique by which efforts are made to find a conclusion to a specific problem by gathering a list of ideas spontaneously contributed from its members. Okay, so people do not usually have a time to think about the brainstorming topics. Usually are not told to people a day before or few days ahead. Okay, they come to the place of work, or they come to the conference room, or they come to the meeting. Then and there itself the problem is put on the table, or it is put on the whiteboard. Okay, and based on the problem that they see right now, spontaneously whatever ideas or solutions comes to the member's mind, the participant's mind, it is collected, a list is made out of it. Okay, so there is certain steps to brainstorming, certain principles you have to follow when you are conducting a brainstorming section. Okay, brainstorming can be structured, unstructured, silent. Okay, as like it depends on the mediator what kind of brainstorming session you have to initiate. Okay, structured means every participant may have a token number, and based on the token numbers which are being called up, they will have to answer, give the solutions or ideas. Unstructured, randomly, people, whoever has ideas, they will just stand up and speak about their ideas and solution. It will be noted down. Okay, and it's silent brainstorming, nobody is talking to each other. They just write down their ideas and solution in a piece of paper and submit it. Okay, so that these are the different types of brainstorming. So we will go through the guidelines and principles one has to follow when you are in a brainstorming session. So you have to avoid face-to-face groups. Okay, like it may like if people are sitting together watching each other, they may become self-conscious and they may not respond well, okay? But if all of them are facing the whiteboard or looking at the problem, everyone is looking at the same direction, not at each other, it excites more, okay? They are less distracted by what expressions others are having or who is watching them, okay? The self-consciousness feeling will be mellowed down if they are looking at a single direction. And you have to stick to the rules of brainstorming. All the rules has to be followed. Everyone has to be given opportunity, okay? Pay attention to everyone's ideas. No idea is good or bad. Every idea has to be collected, however random it could be, however weird it could be, but still everyone's idea has a place to be noted down. And you can include both group and individual approaches as well, okay? Where members can together, they can share an idea in a piece of paper, or individual member can share their own idea independently, okay? That is group and individual approach. Take breaks, okay? Give a silent moment to everyone to think, to go within their thoughts, collect themselves and come back again, okay? Because if continuously you're speaking, chattering, and you're making a noise, others who have certain great ideas, it may get silenced down, okay? So give ample of time of silence, a silent break to be given, so that people can rethink. Do not rush anyone, okay? Like if somebody is not ready with their idea yet, let them have their own time, okay? You go to the next participant, then you can come back to the participant who was left out, okay? Do not rush anyone. Stay persistent. Like sometimes it happens that when you are in a group of people and when you're discussing something, you may get off track from the discussion, okay? You may start discussing about some random topics, okay? You may deviate from the main motto of your meeting, okay? So you, as a mediator, you may have to bring everyone back to the track. And these are few principles which is mentioned in the textbook. Apart from that, on screen what you see is setting direction. The first one is setting direction. That is, when people are deviating from the discussion, you have to bring them back, okay? That is set direction. Stay focused, same thing. Do not allow random discussions. The discussions, whatever takes place, should be around the problem or the solution which we are trying to find out. Involve everyone. Every participant should be given equal chance to speak, to put on their idea or opinion, even if it is repetitive, okay? So the same idea, same opinion someone else has given, that's completely fine. Take repeated ideas as well. Invite wild ideas, out of the box thinking. You have to encourage that more, okay? Look for the obvious ideas, like keep the ideas that are obviously the best solution aside. Cross fertilize means participant one has given an idea or a solution. Based on that idea, somebody else had around that idea, someone else had a better solution or better idea, okay? That is cross fertilization, using each other's ideas and solutions as a foundation to create something new, okay? Suspend judgment. Don't allow people to judge each other based on their opinions or ideas, okay? So, no judgment should be allowed here. Allow repetitions, okay? Even if it is repeated ideas, see how majority is leaning towards, okay? When you collect the repeated ideas over and over again, you will see how the entire group is thinking. Where does the majority has their focus on? You will understand that. Don't stop until you find the solution, okay? And display ideas. All the ideas given so far by the participants has to be displayed on a whiteboard, okay? So this is about the brainstorming session. Is it clear now? Does anyone have any doubt regarding the brainstorming session? Next is the nominal group technique, NGT. In short, we call it as the NGT. It is very similar to brainstorming. There are slight deviations in the steps used here. So NGT is a more structured form of multi-voting system. Okay, it has 5 steps. In your textbook, they have given 5 steps. On screen, I'm just showing the 4 main steps. Okay, we will discuss everything in detail. So NGT group is a process of involving problem identification, solution generation, and decision making. So three things you are doing here. You are identifying what is wrong. Okay, you find a solution to the things that you problems that you have identified. Okay, solutions could be, you may have 10 different solutions for a single problem, but the main thing is, the main task in NGT group technique is decision making. Given all the alternatives, given all the plan A, plan B, plan C that you have to make a decision at the end of NGT technique. Okay, nominal group technique, you have to make a decision. Okay, you have to choose the best form of alternatives. Okay, that is how it is different from brainstorming. In brainstorming, you will definitely find a list of solutions, but it's not compulsory that you have arrived at a decision making in brainstorming. But in NGT technique, you have to arrive at a decision making point as well. So problem identification, solution generation, and decision making. It can be used in group of many sizes. Okay, small group, big group, large group, depend. The numbers does not matter. The numbers of participants does not matter here. And voting is done here because based on the voting, we come to a decision making. Okay, the best idea gets the most number of vote. Okay, or you rank the solutions as well, depending on what suits your interaction. Every member in the group gives their view or a solution. Everyone is given an opportunity. It is compulsory that people speak up, even if it is repeated, even if it is a wrong solution, but everyone has a chance to speak up. And if there is any duplication of solution, okay, if it is a repetitive kind of solution that is coming again and again, at the end, when you are ranking the ideas, the repeated solutions can be removed, because when you are voting for the ideas, every idea should be exclusively different from each other. Okay, when you're ranking or voting the ideas, find whatever number of solutions you have at the end of NGT technique. Okay, repetitions are not allowed there. Okay, repeated ideas will be condensed into one particular category, and then the voting will begin. So the first step in your textbook is what that is not given in the on the screen here, but in the textbook they have given. The first step is introduction and explanation. Okay, the facilitator, whoever it is, they welcome the participant, they explain them the purpose and procedure of the meeting. Okay, so that's how introduction and explanation takes place in the first step. Mediator will introduce, I am so and so, we have gathered here to find a solution to this particular problem. Okay, so that kind of introduction is given. That is the first step. Second step is the generating of ideas or silent generation of ideas. So now the participants have an idea what problems are going on, what problem is going on, and what do we have to find a solution to. Okay, so in generating idea, it is a silent generation of ideas. Every participant will be given a sheet of paper, and they will be given around 10 minutes or 15 minutes to think about the problem and find a solution and write it down in the sheet of paper. Okay, so patients will just write down all their opinions, their best solution. Okay, and during this particular period, the participants are not allowed to discuss or consult with each other. They have to sit silently, they themselves and the sheet of paper. That's it. That's the only interaction that should take place. Participants are not supposed to talk to each other in this generation of ideas phase. Okay, so participants are given their own time to reflect on the previous findings or make their own notes. If they have any question regarding the problems, they can ask that to the mediator. Okay, coming to the second step, recording ideas or sharing of ideas. Here, the facilitator or the mediator will invite each participant one by one and ask them to share their idea, whatever they have generated, and each idea will be noted down on a flip chart or on a whiteboard. Participants' idea is recorded on the flip chart in such a way that all the other participants can see what idea that this particular person has given. Okay, so that's how it is recorded. That's how the ideas are shared. And even when it is kind of a round robin process until all the ideas have been presented. Sometimes what happens, you are going one by one and a participant requires more time. He or she may say that I require more time to put more filters into my opinion. You can go ahead with other participants. So you do not have to forget that participant. You have to come back and make sure that everyone has given their fair share of ideas. Only then you move towards the next step. Okay, in next step, you will discuss the ideas. Group discussion takes place. it may take up to 30 to 45 minutes, because here the group members will have a chance to look at and ponder at everyone's ideas and solution. And if they have any doubt regarding other people's ideas and solution, they can ask that, why have you given this idea? What is the motive behind it? Okay, if we go with this idea, don't you think this would be a problem? Okay, like this kind of questions will generate, and whoever has given the idea has to tackle such questions. Okay, they have to give their explanation. Okay, some people's idea may not be understood well by others, so they have to explain themselves. Okay, so that is a discussion phase, discussion of group discussion area. So then finally, voting or ranking. Okay, all the repeated ideas will be condensed together into one category. Okay, when you're voting or when you're ranking, repetitions is not allowed in the set of solutions that you have. Repetitions is not allowed. Okay, every repeated idea will be put into one particular banner. Okay, and then all the participants are asked to rank or vote for the best idea. Okay, voting, if you're going with multi-voting, the idea which has got the majority of vote will be passed as the plan A. The idea which got the second majority will be passed as plan B, and so on. If it is a ranking system, in ranking system, you are not supposed to neglect all the ideas, but you are supposed to rank all the ideas. The idea which you think is the best of all will be given the first rank. The idea which you think is the second best, second rank, and so on. So you will see which idea has got majority of the first rank. That will be the plan A. Okay. So that's about the NGT technique. Is it clear to all? Do you have any confusion regarding NGT technique or brainstorming? Is it clear to all? Next step is multi-voting. It's a very simple idea. It's a very simple way of generating solutions. In multi-voting, you are given a specific set of alternatives or solution, and participants are called. Okay, sometimes the participants themselves may have given these ideas. Okay, or sometimes what happens is that some experts have given you solutions, consultancy agencies, etc. They have given you solutions. They have given you the how to go about with, okay, all these ideas they have given you, but you have not made the choice yet. You want your employees involvement in making the choice. So in some situations what happens is that the people who are voting are not necessarily the participants who have actually given the solution. Okay, in NGT, the participants who have given the solution are the same ones who are voting for it. But in multi-voting, when we speak about multi-voting as it is, it's not always the people who have brought the solutions or brought the ideas who are trying to vote for the best. Okay, sometimes you just take a meeting of experts, and out of the expert meeting you generate few ideas and solution for a problem, and then you dismiss the meeting. Okay, and in the second phase you call all the head of the departments, call all your team members, call the employees, whoever is in charge or whoever is involved with the problem solution, etc. Okay, and you list down all the solution that the experts have given, and you ask them to choose which we should go ahead with. Okay, so that is the multi-voting system. So in multi-voting, participants who have given the idea, they can also multi-vote. Otherwise, in some situation, participants are completely different and the voters are completely a different group. Okay, so it is ideal for making decision in any confusing situation where a list of options are narrowed down. You have 10 different solutions, but you have to narrow it down to only one. You cannot choose all the 10 different solutions and go ahead. Okay, you have to narrow it down to one particular choice, one particular solution, then move ahead from there. Okay, so either one or two options should be narrowed down. So that is multi-voting. A broad list of ideas are brought to you, and you have to establish your priorities. Okay, for example, in some cases, quality department, they may have done the research, they may have gathered the data, they may have found 10 different areas where the hospital has to right now work on. Okay. And then these 10 different areas where the hospital has to work on is brought to the top management meeting, where quality department is not involved. Only top management, shareholders and stakeholders are present. They will be shown all these 10 different lists where the hospital has to do some changes or more work has to be done. Now the top management and the stakeholders will decide which are the priority areas. Okay, which area we have to focus first, which will gets the first priority, which will get the least priority. Okay, so that is also a multi-voting situation. Okay. Next is creative problem solving. So it is a mental process of searching for an original and a previously unknown solution to a problem. Okay. And the main motto here of creative problem solving is the idea that comes up or the solution that comes up should be something very new, novel. Nobody else has done that before. Okay. That is creative problem solving. Nobody else has done this before. It is something discovered new, some new innovation, some new discovery, some new invention. Okay, they all come through creative problem solving. Some kind of applications that nobody has done before or nobody has done before. Okay, this is the first hospital that is going to launch this. Okay, it comes from a creative problem solving strategy. Okay, so it also has certain steps. Creative problem solving, first is clarify what exactly you want from out of this. Should be a completely innovative idea, or it should be something that is repeated everywhere. Okay, clarify the problems. If the problem is not clear to the experts, you have to clear it out. You have to make them understand what exactly the problem is. That is first clarify. Then ideate. Second is you give time for the innovators, you give time for the experts and creative thinkers to create a solution for it, to sit back and relax and just find new ideas. Okay, new novel ideas that nobody else has done. Then once the idea is ready as a blueprint, okay, you have to develop it into something that can actually work. Okay, ideas are usually in a blueprint stage. People can explain you the idea. It's something like filmmaking. Okay, writer may come and describe the entire story. That is ideate area. But putting that story, hiring actors, directors, okay, hiring a promotion area, shooting area, etc., and then shooting a film, etc., that is a developing stage. Okay, similarly, ideate area, when the second step is done, you just have the blueprint of the solution. But in third step, develop, this is where the actual work goes in. You are putting the idea, you are giving a structure, framework, etc., to the idea that is there, to the foundation that is there. Okay, and finally, when you have the developed project, okay, you put it into implementation, or you put it into a pilot study as well. Okay, you choose a small group of test group. Okay, you choose a test group, and on them you implement it and see how the test group is responding, or the pilot group is responding. If it is successful, you launch it for the entire manufacturing industry or for the entire service industry. It is launched. But before launching it to the large scale, okay, launching at a mass level, you have to definitely do a pilot study. You have to do a study on a small group of people, target population. You have to see how people are responding. If it is successful, okay, it does not have any bumps in the road, then only you can send it out to the masses. Okay, so this is creative problem solving. Creative problem solving, the main motto here is the solution that comes from creative problem solving is something that nobody else has done before. It is a new discovery. It's a new innovation. Okay, it is not something that is repeated. It is not a repetition from the past. Next we have is group decision making. In group decision making, there are benefits to it as well as there are certain disadvantages to it as well. Okay, it is a situation faced when individuals collectively make a choice from alternatives before them. It again, ready-made solutions is given to them on a platter. Okay, list of solutions are given to them. They just have to make a choice. The participants, they just have to make a choice. Okay, And whatever decision comes out, whatever choice is coming out of group decision making, not a single individual is responsible for it. Okay, it's a group's decision, it's the entire group's decision. Okay, so that is group decision making. So some people, what they do is, the idea generators who have a social influence, okay, they have an upper hand. Okay, if the participants know who has given this idea, based on that, some judgments can be there in their group decision making. Okay, and if the participants are not in good terms with the person who has given the solution, they will reject their solution. If the participants are in really good terms with the person who has given the idea or solution, they will, even if it is not something that seems like working, but they may select that particular solution. Okay, so that is the disadvantages of it. Okay, so benefits of group decision making is that you are able to leverage knowledge of a large number of people. Okay, majority of people who has an experience and who has a knowledge, based on their sensibility, a decision can be made. Okay, you use knowledge of not just one individual, but a group's average knowledge is used in coming to a decision making. Utilize experience within an organization. Those who have seen the same kind of scenario in the past, by experience, based on their previous experience, they will be selecting the best solution for this time. Disadvantages: it appeals to the authority. Okay, even though the individual members are not happy with the solution that they have chosen, but they know that if they choose this, it will appeal the authority, it will appeal their employer. Okay, they blindly just go with that, even though they don't think on the same line, but just to appeal to the authority, they will choose a specific kind of decision. And groupthink mechanism, it kills creativity. Okay, it kills out of the box thinking kind of situation. Okay, in when people are thinking in group, they tend to choose the ideas that are less risky. Okay, they deviate, they try to stay away from the solution that have more risk to it. Okay, so that is the disadvantages of group thinking. Next, we have affinity diagram. So affinity diagrams are used to organize large amounts of data, okay, into ideas, issues, or opinion. They are large amount of ideas or data. They are put it into a specific category. Okay, you can organize them into a small specific category. So in this process, it helps the improvement teams sift through large volumes of information and encourages new pattern of thinking. Okay, you have hundreds of opinions and hundreds of ideas given to you in writing, but you have to put them into a specific category. Okay, ideas that are coming to you from 100 different participants, majority of them may be thinking in the same line, so that particular area becomes one category. The other majority may think about secondary things, that becomes a second category. Okay, so you are able to see the categories where people are worried about, and you will see the category which has most number of worries, and you will see category which has the least number of worries. That is the use of affinity diagram. Okay, it will help the improvement teams to identify difficult, confusing, unknown, or disorganized performance concerns as well, and organize it better. Okay, so that is the main use of affinity diagram. You can here see, if for example some strategic change in the hospital has to be taken. Okay, like for example, we are going to merge this hospital with another hospital. Two hospitals are going to merge together. A merger is going to take place. Okay, what may be the issues, what areas we may have to work on. You ask this thing to the participants. Okay, they may give you 10 different answers, 100 different answers from 10 different categories. Okay, but now this is your job to organize those categories into those categories. And at the end, once you have put everyone's idea, even if it is repeated idea, but you have put it into categories, you will see which category has the highest weightage. Okay, which category has the highest number of opinions. Okay, you will see that, and based on that you can form a conclusion that okay, this is the area where we have to work a lot, or give the priority to work a lot. Okay, so that's the use of affinity diagrams. Next is Delphi method. So Delphi method is a bit confusing, but you have to listen properly. Delphi method is a very structured form of communication technique, okay? And average participants cannot take part in Delphi method. You have to be an expert, okay? You have to be an expert of any given subjects. Only then you will be involved in a Delphi method, okay? So this is a method in which the panel of experts are invited, okay? For usually for forecasting, certain areas which you do not know how it will be in the future, okay? You can't just generally ask your regular employees. You have to ask people who are experts in this, who have done research in this particular field of knowledge. Only they can forecast the future based on the patterns that they have studied so far. So only experts are allowed to do Delphi method, okay? So the experts here who have gathered, the experts who are the participants, they will have to answer questionnaire, okay, in 2 or more rounds. And after each round, the facilitator or the mediator will anonymously so that other experts should not know who has given this particular solution. Without taking the name of the expert, the mediator will read out the ideas and solutions that people have given, okay? Certain key questions or assumptions are put out, questionnaires are given, all the experts will answer to that questionnaire, okay? They will give a long paragraph kind of answers, their opinions, okay? And the mediator will read out these opinions one after the other, but they will not take the name of their expert, because sometimes internal competition, if it is there between the experts, even though the idea is really good, solution is really good, people may reject it, okay, just out of jealousy. So keeping the name of the expert anonymous, you put out the question, you put out the assumption, they give the answer, and anonymously you will read out everyone's answer, okay? And when in the first round of Delphi method, 10 different experts are called, you may expect around 7 different answers, because experts may think alike on the same line. Few of the experts may think on the same line, okay? So 10 different experts were participating in this Delphi method. And when the first round of questions questionnaire was given and answer was collected, you got 7 different opinions, okay, from experts. All the 7 different opinions are orally told by the mediator as well. Now all the 10 different experts know what are the different opinions and solution people are thinking about, okay? Now the motto of Delphi method is, you have to reduce this 7 different opinions, you have to reduce it further and bring it to hardly 1 or 2 opinions, okay? So how much of a round it takes, again and again you have to do this Delphi method, so that every expert, okay, is more or less on the same forecast, or every expert is more or less on the same way of or line of thinking. So that is a use of Delphi method. In the first round, you got 7 different opinions, okay? Now every other expert knows how others are thinking, in which areas others are thinking, what did I miss that the other expert is has given an answer of, okay? Now everyone knows each other's answers. They do not know who has given exactly this answer, but everyone knows each other's answers. So in second round of Delphi method, the 7 different opinions will reduce down to 4 or 3 different opinions, okay? And finally, in the third round of Delphi method, you can expect more reduction. So what happens is that when people's opinions are reducing, okay, and when people are thinking on one sort of singular line of thought process, you can accurately forecast what is going to happen, okay? When you have 10 different experts thinking in the same direction, majority 90% of the chance that is going to take place.